People have been conditioned to just accept that we are poor, we are nothing, and somebody must help us. So even if when they are doing well, they will not show you where they are doing well. They will show you where they think you must help them. When you come here, if you have a product and you are looking at just 1% of the top of the market, you are likely to struggle and fail. There are big companies that have come here focused on just the top and they failed. Why? Because in their country they give them credit card so people can spend anyhow. Nobody's giving you any credit card here. So when you bring a product, people are thinking before they make a purchase. The African is not an African until he starts to educate himself beyond what the Europeans have taught us. No matter what, if anybody looks like me, it's not European. You see, you could be there for 1,000 years, you're still an African extract.
You know, there are some people in America who don't believe, they look just like you and I. They don't believe they're from Africa.
They are not Arabs, they are not Chinese. So if you look at the races of the different races, you're either African, European, Caucasian, Chinese, Indian, Arab. Which one are you? You are not any of them. So your race, we identify by your race. You can say that you don't come from Africa, but as a race, you're an African. You know, so long as you look like me. And if they do the DNA test, I mean, they will not find you in Britain. They will find you in Africa. So you may hate Africa, but if you hate Africa and you look like me, you really hate yourself. And you never have comfort and peace until you accept that. Because you can't hate really what you are and be at peace with yourself. Because they look at even their presidents who are white. They say that I'm from England, I'm from Scotland, I'm from Ireland. They accept that. But you looking like me, you can't say that you're an Irish. You know, so you are trying to come from anywhere but Africa. What is the reason? Why? So if you look at many of our people, if you say he's successful, why is he successful? Yeah, he's a politician. A politician does not create any value anyway. In terms of economics, no, he doesn't. Really? The country takes care of him. That's the fact. I mean, they know. So if you became wealthy because you joined politics, you have not created any value. If you start a church and you become wealthy, you have not created any value.
You say, as Africans, our financial intelligence is low.
Yes, especially those of us they sent to school. That's why we have a lot of land. We are looking for a job.
It shouldn't be the opposite. That they should be the
professor who taught you. Do you think he had money? No. Financial intelligence will reflect in the economic problems that you solve. You put 10 graduates together and ask them a business idea. Oh, I want to start an event company. I want to write a business plan. I'm looking for venture capital, something. That's what they do. Take your friends who didn't complete JSS and tell them they should give you business idea. Now you hear it. I want to go to something and bring product. I want to be a spare parts dealer. I want to go to the market and bring coconut.
So the uneducated one know more
because the business is in the culture. It's not in the classroom. So they know what people need. So they never have problem as to what they have to take to the market for people to buy. You go to Makola and tell me that somebody has money and they don't know what to do. But we have a lot of educated people who have money, don't know what to do, because that is what the game is. They are creating money in the market all the time. And so if you want business ideas, you don't go to the classroom. You go to the market, because that's where they know what is in demand in the market. If you go anywhere and you say that you want to create wealth and you can't build a business, you can't create any investment, you are deceiving yourself. That is not wealth. You just get some money, build some house that you never live in Ghana, and it takes you 5 years to build that house. For me, that's not wealth. And that is the kind of education that we have to give to our people, that this is not wealth.
They've been lied to.
That's right. Our people went there and enslaved themselves. You know, we work all through. He's 60 years now, he can't even stand. All kind of sicknesses. They come home, the next 5 years they are dead. We must attack this. A lot of our people have problems with the way we see ourselves. They could be PhD holders, they work in top banks or organizations around the globe, but they doubt themselves. And you can see that with the way they describe their people. They use negativity. Our leaders are corrupt, our people are not trustworthy, Africa is poor, and they think they are speaking reality. No, they are just speaking what they have been put, what has been put in them. So the history will pay that. The history beyond what the white man came to lie to you. So it's not a blame. You must be a student of history. That's why all great minds, they are students of history. If you don't know your history, you are not educated. No. If you don't know your history as an African, you are not educated. Your strength is weak. That's why you want comfort. That's why you want to run away. That's why you're looking for visa. That's why you're very. Look at a lot of our young men now. They want to go to Saudi Arabia, Dubai, and they are treating them like animals, but they still want to be there because they don't know who they are. The moment you know who you are, you stand up to say, I cannot be a slave anymore. I cannot put up with this anymore, because you know who you are. A man without confidence, self-confidence, is a man that you can easily overcome. And how do you build self-confidence? By the knowledge that you find about yourself. You know, and that's what I found. So that you can stand up and fight for yourself and for your people.
The mind has been conquered already.
For instance, was a Christian and had gone to Kwame Nkrumah University. You think she would fight for us?
She wouldn't have fought.
No, because something will be broken.
That's deep.
Something.
That's deep.
So the African that can stand and fight will be an African who is proud of where he's coming from.
One of your book is resilience, right? How to develop courage and strength as an entrepreneur.
Yes, sir.
Speak to me about that.
The only way you will win is you don't stop fighting. If you quit, you stop on your greatness. So resilience means that it's going to take you a lot of fight to win. That is life.
But our people don't. When the moment they see the fight, they go back. Most diasporans.
Okay, so then you won't win. You are not meant for greatness. There's no greatness without you fighting.
Hello guys, and welcome back again to another amazing episode. And you guys already know this is the Diaspora Transition episode, where we have dialogue with people who transitioned living on the continent. But today is a bit different. We do have here, I call him a professor, Benfo, someone who is very knowledgeable. He goes by the name Kwabena Obendanko. Listen, he has done so much here in Ghana, teaching entrepreneurship, teaching how to change your mindset. He's written so many books, about 9 different types of books that would help the youth change how they think of themselves and how to actually make it while here being here in Ghana. You don't have to run away to America before you become successful. So it's actually a lot. So without further ado, Kwabena Obendanko, welcome on the show.
Evod, thank you very much. Glad to be here.
And I watched your episode with Denta, and I thought, I'm like, listen, my audience need this blessing too. And that's when I deep dive and saw what you have going on. You did a lot. You've spoken about, it's on radio station, empowering the youth, and I think it's a sacrifice you're doing for Ghanaians and humanity. I appreciate you for that.
Thank you.
Today is about the diasporans. We've had a lot of diasporans who relocated. Some are Ghanaians. They lived here for some time, went abroad, and came back home to live here. Some were successful. Some had to also go back crying because they failed. And it's all because of their mindset that they brought home. So I want us to dive deep into that. But let's say people are watching you, they know who you are. Briefly, humbly introduce yourself to people watching.
All right. Thank you for being for giving me an invitation. My name is Kwabena Obendanko, Ghanaian. I'm an Asante man. I schooled in Ghana. What a gay. I did engineering from Kwame Nkrumah University. I went somewhere to do masters in engineering as well. I live here with my wife. We are entrepreneurs. We have multiple shops in the malls. We make fashion products, and we are developers. We build apartments, we rent them. I've had a lot of businesses running projects, from electrical projects to agricultural projects, over the last 15 years or so. And I write books as well, based on my experiences, the things that I've discovered. I'm in the process of me finding myself, So the things that I thought I should have known growing up, I put some of them in books, because you can't change a man's life until you change his knowledge of himself. So when somebody brings you knowledge, they're actually setting you up for success. So those are the things that I sit back and say, no, these things we must push them, because if you look at a lot of things, we are staging our people to struggle and fail in life without being aware.
Really?
Yes. If you don't equip people with the right knowledge, you have set them up for failure. And you can see it, the things that we promote in our country, maybe all over the world. That's why people struggle in life so much, because you can't equip. You can't fight without the right equipment.
I like that.
And the main equipment is is the mind that you have.
Now, you mentioned how religion have destroyed the minds of our people. We'll dive into that later on during the conversation. I want us to go to your childhood a bit. Your mindset is quite different, where now you are impacting thousands of lives.
Yes.
Now, I saw in one comment under one of your videos you did that this gentleman is making millionaires in real time.
Yeah.
Right. Because of how much knowledge you're actually given. How did you get this mindset? Where did it stem from? Like, where did it start?
Wow. So my mother gave birth. She was not that old. She was young. She lives in America now. My father was not that young, old as well. Trained as a teacher. My mother was she worked in a clinic. I was born at Yamfo in the Ahafo region, but we hailed from Astromaso, the Kwabre East region. So I grew up in the house of my grandfather, Dujemfi. He was a rich man. He built his house. He had 2 wives, as I saw it, and he had a Bedford.
A Bedford car.
Yes,
Okay.
And he had cocoa farm, orange farm, goat, sheep. I picked a lot from him. My grandmother was also a farmer. She was a trader.
Okay.
She was selling a friend in Punam, dried bush meat, and she traded. She was not poor. She was wealthy as well. So I saw my mother also picked up. She was selling jewelry. Her sisters same. They were traders. So I picked it. The academic side, I saw my father as a teacher. He moved around, not much rich. So these are the things that I saw.
See. So you had a lot of traders around you growing up.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
What did that do to your mind in that early age? What were you thinking?
That you can pick anything and live with it. That's what I saw. I made us understand that you don't have to be so complicated to pick anything, to build and to live your life. And it will also make you not be shy, of what you have and how you have to build with it. So we can go anywhere and jump in the trotro, go anywhere. Very, very much adaptable because of the environment that we grew up in. And there's so much data that we picked, in a compound house, in a family house. You go anywhere, you see how people share their stories. You pick them.
You were surrounded by entrepreneurs. I mean, your mom was a trader, your dad was a teacher.
Yes.
That contributed to the mindset that you have today.
Yes, largely. And the social skills were picked from the family setup. You see your mother's mother, your sisters, your mother's sisters, sons. So it's a big family. And I think it's different from you being raised in a family where you and your mother and your father only live, and no uncle, no grandfather, nothing. Your social skills become a bit more,
Okay.
They don't develop because you're not exposed to. You also fight. People disagree with you. So those things, actually, you come, as you grow, you come with it. And you also become very much resilient in the way you handle life. So because that's what you deal with. You go to fetch water from the river. Those things built us up. So I think I love it. If you look at what the knowledge we have now and how we put those things in perspective, the advantages that we have had now. So from there, I went to Pokwari School. I read mathematics, physics, and chemistry. I was a very good student there. So from there, I went to Kwame Nkrumah University, did engineering, and I went somewhere, did postgraduate engineering, and we came to Ghana, and my wife and I, just go through the.
So how did your first business start for you?
My first business, okay, right, just about. Let's say national service. We were just trying everything, with my friends in Kumasi Santasi. Fichire, father on the move. And then when we came, we tried so many things. Taxi, all kind of things. Some of them would drop, and then we started a company that was in projects for semi-government agencies, things like that. So agriculture projects, construction projects, rebuild market, electrical projects. All kind of things. But then I saw that area, if you really want to grow, it's not good if you want to hold yourself with some moral standards. So, and you don't really have control. You eventually have to beg people to give you work, and you have to chase it, borrow.
Really?
So it was no good. And so, and we started a fashion line with my wife. So she manages everything.
Okay.
And been able to build multiple shops out of it, and we make a lot of them ourselves. So we have workshops, and then the experiences that we had from the projects that we did for others, we use that to build our own property in development company. So we have our own unit, apartment in Accra, in Kumasi, which we did not use loans, which we did not use investors or partners. It's our own discipline and and managerial skills that we have done up to this stage, and we're still going anyway.
I love it. You made mention that you are building for the bottom, not for the up.
Yes.
How do you make that happen? I mean, how's your ROIs in that spectrum?
Yes,
because then a developer will say, okay, why will you build for? How can you get your money back?
Yes.
Whatnot.
We are building. Okay, so some of our apartment 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom, maybe 3,500 cedis. So it's not so much the person who is paying 100 Ghana cedis, but we are not charging in dollars to say that, okay, my apartment 2-bedroom is $5,000 a month, kind of. Then if I talk the top, I'm talking of the ones that are charging through the roof, big dollar, that majority of us can never afford. But what we have, a husband and a wife can pull 2,000, 3,000 together and rent, and so that's our focus. And beyond the money, I think that we are providing something that is a bit, maybe affordable, I think, or nicer, And when we finish, we use basically 18 months to build. Many of us, 12 units, 8 units, and by the time you're done, it's already full. And it's when somebody moves out within a month, he's gone. Why? Because there's a need for that kind of market. So it's not so much at the bottom, and it's not so much at the top. It's in between. And I think it's the biggest share of the market.
I like that. A lot of diasporans. I mean, my platform is full of diasporans where they've worked in the US, UK. They've accumulated some wealth and now want to come back home and do businesses. I've had so many people who came back here and failed. Right, and I saw the interview with Denta where you exposed why that is.
Yes.
What do you think would be the proper approach moving forward for diasporans to be able to now move and then move the right way?
Yes.
Right. Now you made mention that the local work that has no respect.
Yes.
Jadi, the market woman, you think she's not making money. This is where the money is.
Yes.
Do you want to speak on that and how diasporans can actually think differently to really succeed when they move down here to Ghana?
Wow, thank you. The entire video was heavy.
Yeah,
it was very heavy. The thing is that when you come or when you want to come here, I think what we have used is the African consciousness. When you try to find yourself as an African, you read your history, you become very much optimistic and positive African. You become so much patient with our system. It's not because you put up with any foolishness, but at least you try to put a lot of things in perspective because you have different data. So if you live abroad and you want to come here, I made mention that you are not coming to save us. Don't come with the thinking that you are coming to lift us out of our poverty. We are very poor. It's all mechanisms. Yes, we have our challenges, but everywhere in the world there are challenges. You go to China, there are challenges, but China is throwing light on where they are doing well. Everybody is promoting their strength, their advantage. Why would you want to come here and focus on our weakness? In that case, we will never be lifted. So I've been to America before. I didn't see that they promote those things in their movies so much. They promote all the things that they think they are good at. I've been to England. You see a lot of terrible things, but they will never put that on TV until you are there. But we is the other way around. Our people have been conditioned to just accept that we are poor, we are nothing, and somebody must help us. So even if when they are doing well, they will not show you where they are doing well. They will show you where they think you must help them. And so I don't think we should press on that. We should just come. You come knowing that I'm going just like any other place, and there are good things, there are bad things. I'm not going to save them. I'm going there to learn and learn how to fit in such a system. When you come here, if you have a product and you're looking at just 1% of the top of the market, you are likely to struggle and fail. There are big companies that have come here focused on just the top and they failed. Why? Because in their country they give them credit card so people can spend anyhow. Nobody's giving you any credit card here. So when you bring a product and people are thinking before they make a purchase, never forget that. So when you bring a product, we buy on price. That is something that should always inform you. Yes, there are few who will just be talking about quality. But listen, when it comes to the final decision-making point, they look at the cost. So produce something that fits, sell something that fits, and that fits their pocket as well. And when you focus on such businesses, you do well. There are a lot of people who are doing so much well in just short-term farming. Some people are focusing on cassava, maize, even vegetables, and they do it with the little that they have. You want to come to Ghana to farm. You have never done any farming in Ghana, but you have gone for 300 hectares with somebody's money, loan, or maybe you sold your house. You have never operated a tractor before. You don't even know how to handle a tractor operator or mechanic, and you have gone for such a huge. You don't even have a market. No, come try 1 acre, 2 acres. Understand how the market is, how you are even going to handle the workforce. You know, and then as you evolve, you add on to the capacity. I think that is the best approach. So many of us, our approach to grow or to come back and fit in is just to grow organically. Started from somewhere.
Humble
beginnings. Even if you have a lot of money, test the model. After all, is that not what is done in the factories?
Yeah.
You test the model, it works before you mass produce it. But you want to come and mass produce before you even test it. You will fail. And so failure is actually something that you design, and success is something that you also design. So it depends on how much depth, how much exposure, how much understanding you have in the culture. You must always design for the culture that you are marketing or you're targeting. The psyche of the people, how they buy, the technology level, their finance level, how they do things. It must fit that. If you don't, you will fail.
Interesting.
You know, so multinationals will come and struggle. That's why if you look at the other ones who grew up here, even though when the economy is tough, they shake a little, but they still have not fizzled out. Why? Because they really have something that the other people who came with just money really don't have. So you see it.
So it's not really about the money.
No, it's about knowing what to do in this environment. It's key. Because a lot of them are raising the money from here anyway. They raise the money from the same economy that you are saying that is difficult. Why? Because they are selling at the price point that majority of the people can afford.
Interesting. A lot of people blame Ghana, say, oh, this is why I failed. It's not my fault, it's Ghana. Is there any truth in that?
If it's true, then why has everybody not failed? If Ghana is responsible for your failure, then everybody should fail. No, Ghana has difficulties. We will not say. Of course, if a country inherited structures that they didn't develop themselves, that were hang on their neck, our laws, even our education, our religion, even the things that the way you even think. If the Europeans had never come here, a lot of things we would do them differently. You know, so it's a mix of a lot of, so you really have to sit down and see what really fixed this Ghana. Look at the laws in Ghana, for instance. Go to your court setting. Do you really think that is the law that Africans really will have to grow up with? These are European laws. These are European laws that we probably have to have just maybe 3% of them. Not everything. The ones that really work here, we must have. But as it stands, we just copy the same thing, hang it on the neck of a lot of our people. Go to a lot of our chief places. They handle more cases than the court.
Really?
How many chief, palaces, or if you want to, how many of them don't we have? Millions or thousands. They are all handling all kind of issues. How many courts do you have? So they handle more cases without a lot of,
that's how it's supposed to be, right?
I think that we must. A lot of the cases must be handled.
Why do we view our things to be inferior as black people?
It's the people we came in contact with and how they really train us to see ourselves. So now I can't man myself. Why are you speaking English? There's a problem. Because if you're Chinese, probably we will not speak English. But we this is a reality. We have to battle with such things because of what happened. And so somebody came to say that in order for me to educate you, I must give you a different language. We have accepted it. In order for me to educate you, you must wear suit and tie. You must even take a different name and probably even see God as me. So I've never seen a picture of Jesus who is a black Jesus hanging in most of our churches. When you go anywhere, the Jesus must be Europeans. People say that it's not important. It is important.
What does that do to us?
It breaks your the way you see yourself subconsciously. Because if the God that I worship is not like me, and somebody comes who looks like that God, let's face it, that person can easily subdue me. Because we all, you can't go to God in arrogance, isn't it? You go to God in humility. The same. So that's why when many of us meet these other people who look like this God, we already, we look humble. We look like we have. That's why we go to them for help anyway. Because they look like the God that we are praying to for help. Somebody really work on that.
Interesting.
And so until the African has been able to work on that, your sense of image, you always put yourself down. And that's why it's very easy for people to put everything that we have down. It was strategy. When you hear Africa is poor, It's not today that they've been saying it. It's over the last 500 years.
Wow.
Your leaders are dishonest. It's not today. It was a welfare mechanism that they use.
Interesting.
You know, because if the people believe in their leader, then you will not be able to fight and overcome them. But if I'm behind him, that's it. The leader, then I can easily break you.
Interesting.
So don't trust your leader. Don't respect him. Say that is dishonest, and it's very easy for us to say that, isn't it?
Yeah.
We say it all the time, everywhere.
A lot of diasporans say the reason they are not moving back is because of bad leadership, and they've been saying this for the last.
You see,
God knows
because
how
they are
long.
also victims of the same thing.
Interesting.
Because the same Africa that they promote to us, the same Africa that they promoted to them. Ask them generally, what was the definition? What was the Africa they saw before they even came here? It was more like 99% negative. So I don't expect them to come to say that you have good leadership anyway. Until that African who lives outside is somebody who has given himself different kind of education beyond what the norm that they see on their TV and they are taught in their books. A typical African American, Jamaican will have that kind of concern that your people are corrupt and they have never been here. Where did they hear that?
Brainwashed.
That's it. So it's the same data they push it. So everywhere in the world that you go, any poor person on the street who sleep on the street even thinks that he's richer than you.
Yeah.
Who has you have your own home in Ghana and he thinks that you're coming to. I remember there was a time I was somewhere in Europe and I was asking this guy that where is the bags coming from? He said, I don't have any bags on me. He was thinking I was going to ask him. I was asking for money.
Money.
Said,
Okay.
You don't have money. I'm saying where's the bags?
Yeah, because you probably have an accent, so he thinks it's better than you.
But he thinks that I'm begging.
Can you speak on that? A lot of locals came to me saying that they are maltreated by diasporans and almost come across that they know better than them, and it bruises their ego sometimes, and therefore they kind of collude in a way to break down the business just to teach them a lesson.
Wow.
Can we speak about that dynamic?
Wow. For them to
people
agree and collapse somebody's business is wrong.
It's wrong.
And I also see that anybody who has lived in the white hegemony, the white man's culture, will battle with the idea of not looking down upon us. That one is a daily battle that you see it. Even the very honest amongst them will be beaten somewhere. In a way, if you really pay attention, you see that they're just trying to say that their culture and the way they look at life is better than the way we look at life. It's not because it's the reality. It's because of how they've been trained, and how they've been the things that they have shown about us to them. So if they connive to steal, I think it's wrong. But they also come with a lot of burden.
Yeah,
the other people are people from other cultures, because they always raise that culture as the standard. I don't think it's the standard. I think it's a different approach. Just like you and I, you have different way of doing things. Does that mean you're better than me? I wouldn't say so. We have different ways of looking at things. So if you are African who was taken away, whether it's today or thousands or hundreds of years back, when you come, know that you are coming with that
mindset.
Yes,
it's subconsciously
it beats you. It eats you. I mean, I have friends who, I will not say anything, but I know that this guy is just trying to say that I can help you. I can give you money. I have better way of, and especially standard quality. Sometimes it's not because we don't know the quality, but sometimes you look at the market that you are targeting.
The market determines.
This is what the people are comfortable with. There was a document that I read some time ago. There was this bank who their target, their customers were very average people, but they went for a lot of money to upgrade the banking hall, so that at least they were trying to say that they had upgraded, and they saw that their customers were not coming, so they had to spend a lot of money to also reduce the standard, and that's the point that their customers started to
interesting
come. So you have to really keep in mind who you are serving and what they are comfortable with. But many of our families, when they come, I have cousins, family, my own family people, when they come, they think that they know better than those of us who live here. And I say that, no, you don't know better than we live here, we know something that you don't know. That's why you've been able to survive here. So when you come with some little humility. Even if you want to suggest, we have a lot of argument with, especially, I think that there are Ghanaians who were born to Ghanaian parents outside, and there are those who were born here. Less than 15 years they go, and there are those who maybe completed university or after 15 years
and they went.
I see difference in their character.
Interesting. Can you give me some few examples?
I think those who were born there to Ghanaian parents who have never been, very few are very much optimistic about us. But when they come, they are able to adapt and appreciate what is here. Those who were born here and moved, 15 years, when they come, they are very much negative. I don't know why.
You can't do this in America.
Yes, they're very much negative, and they look down really upon us, and they really don't want to identify with us. I think those who were 15 years educated who went, they would want to come back because they understood some things here. They may be negative, but it's moderate. But the ones who went before 15 and went to school, educated, I think something happened in their training there. So there's a bit of challenge. I've met some of them.
Interesting.
And when they are talking, I say that no.
That's
this is, I don't think you need a lot of re-education. And I see that a lot of them don't even have any sense of African history at all.
Really?
At all.
They don't know themselves.
They don't read any history. It's just 1957, Kwame Nkrumah and Portuguese and Mina, that's all. But but they will quote the Greeks. They will quote, Shakespeare. They will quote Plato. That's right, all those people. But when they are talking, you see that they don't quote anything from us. The African is not an African until he starts to educate himself beyond what the Europeans have taught us.
Why did you come back after educating yourself in Europe?
Did I come back? I didn't go anywhere.
I think you've been to America.
Yes, that was when I was in school. My parents lived there. My parents are Americans, actually. Yes, they've been trying to get us out of here. I said, no, we have a vision. We have to live here and and realize that vision.
Interesting.
I schooled in Ireland for postgraduate, and my wife was in England, so I visited. But no. I think that you really have to live a life that you have some level of purpose, identity, focus.
You feel more purposeful when you are in Ghana.
Absolutely, and free.
And free.
Yes, and free and accepted. And I see that there's no limit to what I can achieve in my own country. We have our own difficulties, but if I have that different shift, I can achieve so much. And I think what we have done here, I never see myself as somebody who, I'm not a diaspora, I'm a pure Ghanaian. Right. I just went somewhere a few months and I came back. So I wouldn't want to say that I know different culture.
The reason why I said that is a typical Ghanaian getting an opportunity to step a foot in America wouldn't like to come to Ghana. Wouldn't like to come back. There's so many people who would comment down my video saying that this Ghana, what am I coming to do here? I would never step my foot here. I have my 9-to-5 job. I'm working in America. Why do I have to come to Ghana? I don't need anything from here. The mindset, and these are local Ghanaians who traveled abroad. The mindset is so shifted in a way that they don't see Ghana to be a place to be. And then I'm saying that because you had opportunity to be in this country, but you decided to come back.
I've traveled so many places. But
what do you think? Our youths.
It matters what you know, what you have read. I've read a lot of books. I've studied. I've really, not just the formal education, but books. I've self-educated myself. So I've learned, I've read. I have different data. The average Ghanaian probably does not even open. If he completes university, doesn't open any book at all. If he's opening a book, he's going to write another exam for promotion.
Interesting.
No, but I've read to live, and so the kind of information that I have is not the one that will make me live somewhere and say that they are prosperous. I know a lot about finance, about business, about creativity. I have engineering degree. I've lived with family. I saw what they could do. My mother built house before she moved out of here. No. And
Dashman's dad have decided not to come, but what are they missing that, if you don't mind sharing?
It's the same identity. It's the same information. They really live in a country that there's one thing to be free, especially financial freedom. If you live there and you're ambitious and you want to be free, if you quit your job today, or if they sack you, for how long would you be able to live if you say you are rich there without salary?
2 months.
You see, many people cannot. We saw it during COVID.
Yeah.
So it means that many of our people, they just are not aware of the very system that they live in. A lot of them are sadly in debt even. Why do you have to use loan to build a house, to have a house? The house that we have put up here, no, we were able to build something according to what we could afford. I cannot hold it that for the next 35 years of my life, somebody is always on my neck paying something.
Paying money.
No, so we built. So that kind of life, I really appreciate it. And thank God that Nkrumah did not have that kind of thinking. It's not just about your comfort. It's also about, if you look at our people, what can we do to make sure that we lift or we change the narratives? I think that if you're driven by that, your choices and your decisions will be different. You not only look at your interests, but you look at what can I also do to make sure that our people live in dignity. So if somebody wants to live for himself, no problem, live for yourself. But we want to see the problems that our people face and see what we can solve. I mean, with the life that we have at the moment.
I like that. In 2019, the government initiated the Year of Return, inviting the descendants of Africans who were enslaved during the slavery time. My question to you is, what do you think of it? The campaign, did it set a realistic expectations for those in the diaspora about moving back to Ghana, in your personal opinion?
I think there was Pan-African, Panafest when we were growing up. So I think those things followed, and Ghana has always been doing that. I think it was a great thing. Even though they were coming a lot of the times during Christmas to just party. Yeah. It was a great initiative. I think they could take it to industry and innovation and business, at least, because those are the areas that will bring development. But I think whatever it is, it was a great thing. Even though the government could take it forward to actually, not just let them come and go, but there could be some infrastructure to actually make sure that they are involved in the society itself. Maybe they did it. I'm not fully much into that, but I think whatever it is, it was a good thing. No matter what, if anybody looks like me, it's not European. You see, you could be there for 1,000 years. You're still an African extract.
There's some people in America who don't believe, they look just like you and I. They don't believe they're from Africa.
They are not Arabs. They are not Chinese. So if you look at the races of the different races, you're either African, European, Caucasian, Chinese, Indian, Arab. Which one are you? You are not any of them. So your race, we identify you by your race. You can say that you don't come from Africa, but as a race, you're an African. So long as you look like me. And if they do the DNA test, they will not find you in Britain. They will find you in Africa. So you may hate Africa, but if you hate Africa and you look like me, you really hate yourself, and you never have comfort and peace until you accept that, because you can't hate really what you are and be at peace with yourself. It's never true. So they're doing that based on what they know, and much of it is misinformation. And I can say that many African Americans, Jamaicans who have embraced their Africanness, not necessarily coming to Ghana, are very much more at peace with themselves than the other ones who are trying to deny.
Interesting.
Yes, you can see it. African Americans who come here, whether they are the top people we see on TV or nobody knows them, they are very much made when you meet them than the other ones who are trying to say that they are just Americans. I'm telling you. Because they look at even their presidents who are white. They say that I'm from England, I'm from Scotland, I'm from Ireland. They accept that. But you looking like me, you can't say that you're an Irish. So you are trying to come from anywhere but Africa. What is the reason?
Why?
It's because of what they taught you about
programming.
Yes, and you believe the lies that those people who came to fight.
Yeah.
Because they didn't come to trade, they came to war. They came to fight us. They came to subjugate. And we actually withstood them. We fought. The only thing is that the story is told in their favor. And so people think that we
sold them to slavery.
We sold them into slavery and all that. They also forget to tell the stories of African kings and queens who fought and died, trying to prevent a lot of these things. So the whole scheme was not designed by Africans. We didn't sit down to design that let's trade people. No. Somebody came with that design, with that shape, with the guns, with the chains. You could not just put the Africans, and it's not only Europeans. The Arabs had been here from the 7th century for over 1,000 years. A lot of our big kingdoms were undermined by the Arabs.
Interesting.
So when the Europeans came, Africa had already fought so many years. This is the history that when you learn, then you will say that living here is not that difficult, because then you process different kind of information.
I like that. Now, look, I was in a flight coming from China to Africa, and I was the only black person in the flight. I went to Zanzibar. The whole airport, I was the only black people there. Now, the whole country is full of Caucasians. Now, when I looked around, everybody owning business didn't look like me. Those who looked like me were the waiters and whatnot. Now, this is coming of programming where we don't want to even go to places like Africa anymore, and they would leave it to Europeans. And now the land is bought up by Europeans. If you look at even our own countries as Ghana, the Lebanese businesses are thriving compared to Ghanaian businesses. Some of them. Why do you think that is? I mean, obviously the programming, but why are we not awake to understand that we have to begin to make this necessary shift in our minds?
So if you look at my grandmother, Amamosia, she's about 85 years. She didn't go to school, European school or anything like that. She never thought of going to school, or she never thought of going to look for work so that somebody will employ. The kind of school that we've been given Anybody who goes to primary says JSS, SSS, when do you finish? You are looking for somebody to hold your hand and give you a job.
Yeah.
So it's from degree or your certificate, CV, salary, position, that's it. And that is what has made a lot of our people not see business as the way out. As a matter of fact, if a people want to conquer, they must be in business. Majority must be in industry, agriculture, construction, finance. So the people we have sent to school, if the school is just preparing them to go and look for a job, our wealth will be in the hands of foreigners. Because the foreigners know that for you to hold wealth, you must have business, you must employ labor, you must have other hands working for you. That's how you create wealth. You ask a lot of our people, they think in salary, and salary is that only your 2 legs, you work, they pay you monthly. How can you create wealth like that? You can't create wealth. So you can give a people an education that will make them very comfortable with a letter. I still think that they're very intelligent. Whilst others are stealing their wealth. So it's the kind of education that we have about business, wealth creation, finance. That is what is creating that. Now, the generation that did not go through that, the religion and this kind of education, understood wealth. That's why my grandfather, Jujemfi, understood wealth. You know? Why? Because that kind of miseducation he didn't have. So we must focus on ownership than salary and jobs. Now, the people who will fight this are the people who have been given that kind of education. Oh, I'm okay with my wife, my children. We live in New York. We have a good life. We have mortgage. That's a very little life. Based on the wealth that we have here. If you look at our oil, who is drilling them? If you look at our mining companies, who are mining them? If you look at our finance sector, who are those in charge? Even our retail and wholesale market, the agriculture. These are all wealth for us. The missing link is the kind of conviction that they have made us to have, which is be comfortable with a lot of degrees. Or you see a lot of our people, masters, PhD, and when they finish, the government must give them some position. So if you look at many of our people, if you say he's successful, why is he successful? Yeah, he's a politician. A politician does not create any value anyway. In terms of economics, no, he doesn't. Really? The country takes care of him. That's a fact. I mean, they know. So if you became wealthy because you joined politics, you have not created any value. If you start a church and you become wealthy, you have not created any value. When you create a table, when you employ people, you create something. You need a carpet to create it, the light, the chalawati, the soap. You are the ones that must control wealth, because then you are helping us to build wealth based on productivity. But when people have money because they join politics or government contract, that is not wealth. You know, so if you cite examples of many of our people that we see as prominent, and you look at the source of their wealth, you take 2 things. Sometimes it's politics, and the other one is what? It's religion. And for me, that is not really wealth, because those areas cannot lift many of our people up.
Interesting.
No. And it's not because he went there, now he has farms. No. Where did he get the capital? Many people didn't try anything until they got those monies from there. I think the youth must look at those things critically. So those who inspire me per se are not the government contractor. They're not the politician. It's not the church owner. It's the guy who started from his village, letter with no help, and who's been able to build an industry that will employ 500,000 people. Those are my inspirations, because for me that is the wealth that many of us can relate with, you know, or can relate to. And if the youth is looking for example, those are the people that should inspire you.
They should look to.
No, I don't think that we throw a lot of light on musicians and footballers. So long as we pay attention to that, we will continue to import from China.
Most of world billionaires are all manufacturers.
Yes.
They go to areas where there's no civilization, and they start from scratch, produce stuff. But on the other hand, our people come in and they see cockroaches and they don't want to live in apartments anymore. They see bad roads, they don't want to live. We are built to consume rather than to create.
Yes. And part of it is the miseducation. The Africans all around the world, it's not only in Ghana or Nigeria. Everywhere, the data that we have is responsible for how we see ourselves.
Interesting.
You know, so when the people have been built well, they now want to be self-sufficient. So they want to create. If the people are creating their critical needs, it means that now the people have been trained well.
Will you say, as Africans, our financial intelligence is low?
Yes, especially those of us they sent to school. That's why we have a lot of land. We are looking for a job.
Really? It shouldn't be the opposite. That they should be the.
The professor who taught you, do you think he had money? No. Financial intelligence will reflect in the economic problems that you solve. So if you're carrying your certificate and looking for a job, you're not part of the game at all. Because the wealth that Africa has, if you look, the landmass, the opportunities that we have around us, if the financial intelligence is intact, you will not be looking for visa. You will not even be looking for, where do I get capital to start? It's the capacity that you need. It's not the capital. The mental capacity, the social capacity, your ability to connect and convince somebody to buy what you have, the idea that you have. Take a product and sweat until the product starts to make money. That capacity is what many of our people lack. And it's because of the school. The school takes that from you. You put 10 graduates together and ask them a business idea. I want to start an event company. I want to, write a business plan. I'm looking for venture capital, something. That's what they take. Take your friends who didn't complete JSS and tell them they should give you business idea. Now you hear it. I want to go to something and bring product. I want to be a spare parts dealer. I want to go to the market and bring coconut.
So the uneducated one know more
because the business is in the culture. It's not in the classroom. So they know what people need. So they never have problem as to what they have to take to the market for people to buy. You go to Makola and tell me that somebody has money and they don't know what to do. But you have a lot of educated people who have money, don't know what to do. Because that is what the game is. They are creating money in the market all the time. And so if you want business ideas, you don't go to the classroom. You go to the market. Because that's where they know what is in demand in the market. And they don't teach that in the classroom because the school is not designed to create wealth. Though. It's designed to let you speak English like we are doing now. We speak English and then we go and cry that somebody should give us a job. No, it's the base, it's the culture, it's the market, it's the open space that is created to create wealth.
Interesting. Wow. I know a market woman. I met her daughter actually, and she's taking care of a child in Europe, paying plenty of dollars.
Yes.
And I'm like, how does she do that? And she's like, my mom make over $100,000 a year just by selling, I think, okra or whatnot.
Yes.
Yeah. And that's where come and they're still working remotely because
we don't understand where the money is. Education is business sense. It's your ability to understand how to invest money. Those are the things that create wealth. It's never in degrees. All your friends who have all these degrees, do they have money? No.
I mean, the C students are the one employing the Asians.
Yes, absolutely, because they are solving the problems that make money for them. So, with my education, I would be wrong to think that because I have this kind of education, I should be rich. I think it means that I don't understand numbers. Because anybody who is wealthy, if you pay 100 people every month, are you poor?
No.
So, if you want to be rich, just find a way to pay people.
Interesting.
You pay 1, 2, 3. It don't go to pay so many people every month.
A lot.
That's it. That's why he's rich. The poor man does not pay anybody. That's why he's poor.
Because his money is working
for him. That's right. Money must be working for you. People must be working for you. Systems must be working for you if you want to. You cannot work all your time and think that you'll be worth. Very few can have that kind of wealth.
Financial freedom. How do one acquire financial freedom?
You must be intentional about it. That I don't want to live on salary after a while. Somebody should not pay me monthly money before I can pay my children's school fees. So it's a mechanism that I put in place. So I'm working now, even if I'm employed. I will discipline myself and pay 2,000, but I have it in mind that the next 15 years, even if I'm going to be employed, I will still work said that something else should be working for me, so that if they take that salary, my children will not have to beg to eat. I don't have to go for credit to eat. I don't have to steal to eat. And that's the way you achieve financial freedom, which means that when the people are getting money to buy, let's say, a car, because you are targeting financial freedom, you are not looking at car. People are rushing to build their houses. No, you are looking at building machine that will make you money. So for instance, if you own, let's say, a coconut farm, 100 acres, which many of our people can afford over time. If you just discipline yourself, because access to land, all of us, we have come from places, eastern, western, north, Volta. There are lands there that you can easily acquire 50-acre land, and say that I want to plant this, and you can easily be financially free if you focus. But people want to make money and buy a car, build a house, buy a nice phone. That's why many of our people depend on salary, and it's a global issue actually. But you can always achieve, because financial freedom purely means that you don't need somebody to pay you to live. And you don't have to reduce your standard of living.
someone was able to raise $15,000 here in Ghana.
Yes.
Use that for documentation to go abroad. What do you think about that?
A lot of our people are infatuated with abroad, we love to go to America.
Yeah.
And many of our people. And it's the standard. Even if you look at the best of our minds, they're going to go to American universities, isn't it? Yes, it's just something that we are so much obsessed. Maybe it's too much movie, and the people who also went, what they came to portray. But
they didn't tell us the truth.
They didn't tell us. As a matter of fact, the first time I went to America, I saw my aunties and my parents. I asked them, so is this what you've been doing all these years? Hey, they're
washing the dishes.
Tried. Yes, you have tried to go through this all these years. So it's a tough life. It's a tough life. It's not just that simple. Very few are living a life that they are so much proud of. Many are just working and they save something and they bring it here. So if you have $15,000 and you are intelligent, I would rather want to go to America rich in Ghana than poor. I would not rush here to go to America when I need money or I need something to eat. I would want to build something here and travel as a wealthy man. Go and sleep in maybe a nice hotel if I have to go. And move around. Somebody who is rich. It's far better option, which means that I will sweat here and build that wealth. And you can see a lot of our great people who have built wealth here. Because that 15,000, they didn't use it for visa.
Yeah, that's
right. They built something. They built a business with it. They started some farms, some investment. They sweated. People will screw them up. People will steal from them. They will want to give up, but they didn't. And now they are in their 60s, their 50s. They are wealthy. Those people go to these countries. They come the next 2 weeks. Why? Because they have paid their dues. You want to go and work. If you go anywhere and you say that you want to create wealth and you can't build a business, you can't create any investment, you are deceiving yourself. That is not wealth. You just get some money, build some house that you never live in Ghana, and it takes you 5 years to build that house. For me, that's not wealth. And that is the kind of education that we have to give to our people, that this is not wealth.
They've been lied to.
Yeah, that's right. Our people went there and enslaved themselves. We work all through. He's 60 years now, he can't even stand. All kind of sicknesses. They come home, the next 5 years they are dead. We must attack this. That we are killing our people with this deception that once you get from here you go to England. No.
You said that is colonialism.
Yes, it is. Because what would make you put up with this kind of life if you go to a lot of these places, especially those who you're just doing something menial, and yet you have houses in your hometown, even not those that you built, those that your families built, but you're still putting up with this life because you so believe that where you are, even though you live in a very single room, small one, you're still better than when you were here living in a better place. Somebody brought his children here. He lives in England, and when they came, they went to their place, Mampong. So the children said, Father, so you have all this here. Why are we doing? Why are we in England in that small space? He said he couldn't answer. He said that we don't want to go back. Well, there was so much space here, but he's still squeezing himself with the children in a small place in England. Why? Because we believe there is better. The deception of the pound, the deception of the dollar, and it's eating the minds of our people. And it's a war. We really need to free the minds of our people as Africans, so that they can see themselves that wherever that they are, if they have the right information, they can build wealth, and they don't have to be servants. If you go anywhere in the world, look at the statistics. What are the jobs that our people do? We should take this as a burden. It's not just the money that they bring. Somebody said that the diaspora bring 5 billion, and so what? It doesn't only take money to build a nation. It takes people. I told somebody the other time, said that he said, "Oh, I was bringing money to my children." I said, "You can't raise your children in Ghana. You stay abroad." I said, "You bring money. That is not enough. They need direction, they need comfort." And so the average parent with little money, being present, will have better children than the other one who traveled and the children are here all by themselves.
Interesting.
Yes, with whatever money, even if they have. Why? Because when you come home, your father is there. Did you do the assignment? Have you gone anywhere? If you have bad friends, they will correct you. By the way, this boy comes home, nobody is there. It's just the grandparent. If the boy is not so much disciplined, you lose him. And many parents lose their children like that. Why? Because they thought that it is only money that you need to raise your children. I think it's far beyond money.
I like that.
Yes, it's far beyond money.
What do one begin to do to self-enrich themselves? Or even one of the books you wrote, self-investment.
Yes.
How do one start?
You must love knowledge. The human mind is designed to work with knowledge. As a matter of fact, they say that freedom comes from knowledge. And in the good book, it says that my people are perished for lack of knowledge. So wherever you see people perishing, it's not a demon. It's ignorance.
So Africa is perishing because of lack of knowledge.
That's the knowledge of who we are. And that's what I put myself through. I started to learn our history and not colonization. The history beyond what the white man told us.
Is it available?
It's available. Now you have a lot of great African teachers. Their videos are on YouTube. Their books are all around. Just read one or two. You see that there are so many things that... Because you cannot repair the mind of the African until you give them proper history.
Say that again.
So you cannot repair the mind of the African until you give them proper history beyond slavery and colonization. Because a lot of our people have problems with the way we see ourselves. They could be PhD holders, they work in top banks or organizations around the globe, but they doubt themselves. And you can see that with the way they describe their people. They use negativity. Our leaders are corrupt. Our people are not trustworthy. Africa is poor. And they think they are speaking reality. No. They are just speaking what they have been put, what has been put in them. So the history will repair that. The history beyond what the white man came to lie to you, you know, and they have lied to all. They have done some good things around the world, but they have also done very terrible things. And much of it is the way they have conditioned the Africans to see themselves. And so my friends who have gone to school, when you're talking, they argue, no, you can't continue to blame the Africans. I said, how can you understand? How can you solve something that you don't understand? Study it. That's why when you go to the doctor will ask you, you say you have this sickness. What happened? Where did you sleep? What did you eat? What is it trying to do? It's not trying to blame you, but it's trying to see
where the problem is.
That's what happened, where the problem is coming from. But they don't want us to dig where the problem is coming from, because when you go there, they have to defend their masters, and so they will fight you. So your friends who think that the white man is far more intelligent than us will always fight for them, than side with us to say that no, there are things that we need to correct. And so it's not a blame. You must be a student of history. That's why all great minds, they are students of history. If you don't know your history, you are not educated. No. If you don't know your history as an African, you are not educated. Your strength is weak. That's why you want comfort. That's why you want to run away. That's why you're looking for visa. That's why you're look at a lot of our young men now. They want to go to Saudi Arabia, Dubai, and they are treating them like animals, but they still want to be there because they don't know who they are. The moment you know who you are, you stand up to say, I cannot be a slave anymore. I cannot put up with this anymore, because you know who you are. A man without confidence, self-confidence, is a man that you can easily overcome. And how do you build self-confidence? By the knowledge that you find about yourself. You know, and that's what I found, so that you can stand up and fight for yourself and for your people. And if I look around, everybody who is standing for themselves knows something. They know something about where they come from. For instance, if your grandfather is Dotunfo now, and somebody told you that you are nothing, the day you found out that my grandfather is Otufo Pukware, listen, when you change everywhere, you see yourself differently. Meanwhile, before you thought you were nothing. And that's why everybody must know where they come from. You must take and find it. Because that is where your greatness will come from. Your greatness is not coming from the fruit. People tell us that we should learn coding and IT and AI is good. But if you don't know who you are, it doesn't matter what talent you have.
Who were we before slavery?
We were people. Look at the Ghana Empire, for instance. It ran for, let's say, 1,000 years with millions of people. Do you think that the people will live and manage their head, their family, their food, everything, go to war, and not know anything until the white man came to teach you how to read and write? No. Let's say if the last person of any civilization dies, the information with that civilization all goes away. So somebody comes to tell you that you are nothing, you believe. And that is what happened to us. Is also they came, a lot of this history that we see now, they are just the 19th century European concoction.
Interesting.
So go beyond that, because their own historians said that the Africans were great people. There would never be mathematics, chemistry, physics, biology, technology, architecture without the Africans. Go and study it. Nobody should teach you this. Go and find out, because they will not put it in the colonial education that they are giving us. This education they are giving us, 90% is European. European, pseudo-European history. You know, that's why you know Marie Curie, you know Einstein. They are the only ones that you find in our books. Where are the Africans? Where the law of flotation? Are you saying that until they discovered that there was no flotation? Discover that in this world, where is the oldest human orchestration or human edifice? Any edifice that human beings built? Where is it?
Africa.
It's not on the continent. And you say that these people, until we came, they were nothing. That's a lie. It's a concoction from the 19th century, 18th something that they cooked. But if you look at the the things that are left, look at I study our chiefs particularly. Look at Otumfuo and when all those things when they do. If you pay attention, you see that no, these things were not just 50 years. These are thousands of years. And I think that we have prototype that we can all learn from and see ourselves as a great people. They have their greatness. We must have our own greatness. We have our greatness. So don't let anybody put you down because you are looking up to them. The more you look up to them and see yourself as nothing, it's very, very easy for them to make you do anything that they want.
Yeah. I like this. Wow. A lot of natives, locals, have abandoned their culture and religion.
Yes.
Because of so-called voodoo.
Yes.
I know some people who are royals.
Yes.
But they don't want to even go back to the place. That's because of Is that how deep the brainwashing is?
Yes, it's very deep. When the Europeans go, the Anglican Church, when they are doing their rituals, it's not ritual, isn't it? It's godly. When the Catholic Church is doing some
because they drink the blood thing,
all those are not rituals. But when we do, I'm a Christian. When we go to do it, I remember when I was a child, my grandfather would take me to his priest. He's a comfort, and they would cook chicken. They cut them, do all kind of things, and then we will eat them. I will eat them. I'll come home, my mother say, "Hey!" But I love going, so I'll go with him. He was a very disciplined man.
Because that's who you are. That's who we are.
And there's nothing wrong with it. Like the way they are trying to make us believe. So now I question almost everything that these guys came to tell us.
Interesting.
Because they are practicing some things, but they want to say that it's Christian. But when we practice similar thing, now it's evil. It's a different thing. Why are you not condemning the ones that the Indians are practicing? Why are you not condemning the ones that the Chinese are practicing? But when it comes to the Africans, everything about us must be condemned. Don't we see it as something? Is because the wealth of Africa must be in their hands. So when we condemn where you come from and what you have, we can easily control you. That's why we can sign the lithium and give to them and say, give us 3%, 10%. It's very easy. Because you're ready.
The mind has been conquered already.
For instance, was a Christian and had gone to Kwame Nkrumah University. You think she would fight for us?
She wouldn't have fought.
No, because something would be broken in her.
That's deep. That's deep.
So the African that can stand and fight will be an African who is proud of where he's coming from.
How do we train the youth to be more Pan-African or to be more to believe in themselves?
We must teach our history. I was listening to a talk show that a former president said that, listen, I wished my legacy is that my people will be as old as the Bible. He said he was talking to his people, and as futuristic as the internet. Every great people know where they come from. The reason our youth don't seem to believe in themselves is because they don't know where they come from. They are just full of movies.
I had a young guy saying that the white man is very smart and he invented every great thing around him.
Yes, because that's what he knows. And when he goes to school, that's what they teach him. And so now that I have a lot of young boys now, carpenters, masons, who are learning history. The people who follow our platform, they are learning history. And they will come and teach me. They say that I found this. I say, I don't know that one. Tell me. And they are digging. They are studying. And now when they talk, they will tell you that, boss. The other day, somebody sent me a message. He said, I gave 60,000 to somebody to get me visa. When I came to your platform, I stopped. I'm saying that I'm not going again because now I can see a lot of opportunities around me. I'm not going there. I said that when you want to travel as a rich man. That's not as a desperate person. So there's so much wealth in our country. It's the sense of being, sense of identity, sense of dignity, accepting ourselves. So go and read your history. Go to the internet. Search it. They say that, how do I know that is wrong? All right. The thing that they have told you still believe them. You think they are right. It doesn't matter. Find anything that says good things about you, absorb them.
I like that.
Because it's so imbalanced that you can't go. You have to really bring it up, and it doesn't matter how deep you must go to bring that up. So go, even if they tell you that you created human beings, pick it because they have done a lot of damage to us. So we need messages that will lift the consciousness of our people. There's a difference between consciousness and culture. Many of our people are cultural. So we know how to eat fufu, wear kente, but the consciousness is built with deep sense of your history. And that's where you see yourself as equal human being. not that the white man created everything. Somebody even said that the Africans are cursed. The Africans don't have any sense. It's because of the data you have of yourself. When the world was going through transition, the Africans were still being, fought. If you look at a lot of the creations we have now, they are no more than 200 years. Yet the partition of Africa, 1885, 84, where was Africa? So a lot of this industrial revolution, even Ghana's independence as well, it's just 1957.
Yeah.
A lot of these things that we see, management systems, science, technology, all this happened. A lot of it happened just after that. And that was the time that we were still fighting for. And are you even independent? I don't know. When you go through our street and you don't see any road sign that we wrote, no Ghanaian language is under any road sign. And it's so obvious that we have languages that are dominant here. And we're still debating. And yet, when you speak in English, you are not reaching more than 20% of our people. You go to the villages and speak English and see. Even Accra, how many people understand the proper English? So the language is there, and you cannot open the minds of the people you speak in a language that they cannot connect with. The language that they cut their cord with. You are not teaching them in that language. You are teaching them something.
I spoke to an entrepreneur and he's like, I'm very frustrated. Why? Because he wanted to hire some folks for his business and they all have master's degree or whatever and no more degree. And they come to his office and there's no substance up there.
Why? Because you are teaching this person in English.
In English, they don't understand
them European achievement, and they come all that you think you are saying that he's very good because he was able to write the definition, what is matter, and they gave you. Does that make him intelligent? I think the development of a human mind is a critical thinking, it's creative thinking. It's quantum thinking, and yet you did not add these tools to them. The development of the mind of the people, the creation is in the mind. So if the mind is not developed. People can't think for themselves, and so it's not just the degree. As a matter of fact, this is our degree that we don't even find ourselves in. There's no African sense in the degrees that they give us. So already the person is lost. So how can a person who is already lost think? No, it's only when they start to find themselves that they can think, and then they can question a lot of their anomalies. So I really believe in the intelligence of the African who has found himself. All the other Africans, I know that they can easily be enslaved and controlled. Yes, and controlled.
If Kwame Nkrumah is to even come back to life right now and look at where Ghana is, do you think he's going to be proud?
No, I think that Nkrumah was so deep, he was so much studious, and he will not be proud of what we have, especially with the kind of Africans that we are saying. We are now that when you put visa there, we want to go. A lot of our young men now want to go through the desert and go to it. Now even the current thing is that they go through Brazil, trying to get to America. And they are being killed. The other day somebody told me that a police officer working here went through that and she died.
Interesting.
It's dangerous. You are working as a policewoman in Ghana. It's not that bad for you to pack your things, and they go with money. So it's not money is not a challenge. Maybe they are going with $5,000, $10,000. It's not a challenge. How many Americans have $5,000, $10,000 cash? It's credit card. You see, and they have this, and they still say that they are poor. No, something has happened to their mind. It's not lack of money. They don't know who they are. They don't value themselves. They don't believe in themselves. They believe in their hallucination. Because you can easily convince the people who really don't know who they come from. Easily. It's just like a tree without root. The wind can blow and they fall down.
That's very interesting.
Yes.
One of your book is resilience, right? How to develop courage and strength as an entrepreneur.
Yes, sir.
Speak to me about that.
The only way you will win is you don't stop fighting. If you quit, you stop on your greatness. So resilience means that it's going to take you a lot of fight to win. That is life.
But our people don't. When the moment they see the fight, they go back. Most diasporans.
Okay, so then you won't win. You are not meant for greatness. There's no greatness without you fighting. It's just a simple premise. Any great dream that you have got to fight. And that's why you have to be strong. And resilience actually means that you are connecting with the very essence within you. I call it the God within you, the one that is speaking to you to say that this is what I want you to do. Effort. And so if you're meant to bring this enlightenment to your people, then nothing should stop you. So it goes beyond money. If you are the one to build this industry, if you are the one to bring this freedom, if you are the one to bring this awareness, if you don't do it, who else will do it? And so if you have that conviction, then nothing should stop you. And that's why everybody who succeeds in anything, they have overcome a lot of battles. If you cannot overcome battles, it doesn't matter your intelligence.
so going through this battle is a sign that you're on the way to success.
That's right. It's not the ones that your foolishness created. You want to steal somebody's money, they put you in jail. That's not the one. But you are building something, and all kind of things are coming at you. You stay. Everything that you're building, something you came in and you were saying you are going to build a business in Ghana. You started and the boys stole your money. You know, the government came and they said that you have done it. You meet a lot of difficulties. If you don't give up, every trial is building your muscle. It gets to a point that you are no more afraid. You know, you just like you trying to lift a load, or those of you who go to gym.
Yeah.
The first time you go, they give you something you can't. But as you keep going, you start to lift. And some measure of load you'll be able to lift. Why? Because now you have built capacity.
Yeah.
The same with life, especially building wealth, building business, building anything significant. You are going to exercise until you get to a point that you can lift it and hold it up. You know, and that's why you need that toughness of mind.
What is the African advantage?
The African advantage is in business everywhere. That's why Auntie Akwele is selling cocoa. She's built a house with it, you know. Kwesi Mensah is selling coconut. He's doing well, you know. The African advantage is not in salary. It's not in a job. It's not the various areas that we can provide economic solutions to our people. And it's very easy to start a business in Ghana than anywhere that you order.
Really?
It's not the business that you are saying, I'm going to do this funding. I'm talking of you just getting up and selling some wache or some Indomie along the street. That is very easy. And we think that those are not businesses. But if you meet them or you get close to them, the kind of sales that they make every day, you'll be shocked. And that's why economy is actually. Some people say that, oh, we should go into industry. Listen, if you can't sell a product and you go to produce it, you fold up. So don't rush into production. Do you have sales channels? As a matter of fact, in our economy, the approach is different. If you use the straight jacket that they have put around the world, and even those that they teach us in business school, you fail.
It doesn't apply here.
And much of it don't make any sense. A lot of our friends that we went to, you know, some of them, we even met them in business.
Yeah.
They are trying to hold their neck with all these complex structures. This is man, this is man, this is man, this. I'm looking for funding, investor. They are all fizzled out. Why? Because who is going to give you that money anyway? You go to bank, how much is the interest? So you really have to discipline yourself, be so much frugal, and focus on lean structures that work effectively. Because the other ones who are telling you to have all this template, they have money. You know, their cedi, their dollar is not being devalued by the cedi. Here is different. So here, if you are not paying attention, you will easily fail. And so the advantage is in very, very simple businesses. And as a matter of fact, why start complex business if you're not skilled? Start with the little that you have, build up. It gets to a point, you see that you can be successful. And any achievement that you make in a country, be happy. Don't compare it with the dollar. How much do you make in the dollar? Am I selling in dollar? You know, you are doing so well. Your business is doing 100,000, $1 million a year. And you say that when I convert to dollar, why are you converting to dollar? It's in cedi.
Yeah.
And I think that if I'm making $1 million cedi, it's just like somebody in America making $1 million. Don't convert it. So if you have $1 billion Ghana here, you are a billionaire. Don't say I'm a billionaire in dollar. Why are the Americans converting in pound?
Yeah.
If you compare their dollar in pound, then a lot of them will not be billionaires and millionaires. Why do they not even convert it to higher currencies than the dollar?
Interesting.
You see? So keep your...
A lot of Ghanaians are millionaires, but they don't know.
Yes, because they are trying to compare it to the dollar.
Interesting.
And yet, a lot of the things that you buy here is in cedi, and it's very cheap. If you go to buy white, how much is it? It's not 20 cedi. 20 cedi in the dollar is how much here? I don't know.
Like
maybe almost $1.2. Something like that.
Yeah.
How much is white in New York? At least I'm sure $10-$15 they will take you.
Yeah.
Or maybe 20. Or even when you want to cut your hair. I mean, I go to the barber, it's 20 cedis or 30 cedis. How much
America
is it?
The same.
You cut your hair in America, how much?
$30.
That's right. So is it the same? That's it. So remove the dollar somewhere. Remove it. Maybe when you're doing so-called international trading, then you can go and do that. But at least be happy with what you have, because they can use a lot of complex things to put us down. And so many of our people have done well and are doing well, and they are trying to compare themselves with systems that don't even support, you know, the very results that we are trying to get. You know, so I don't really compare. If you are doing well as a young man in Ghana, you're doing fantastically well. Don't convert it anywhere. You're doing well. If you're able to build a house, don't convert that house in a dollar before you see its value. You're doing well. Just accept that I've been blessed.
Do you think we don't understand money itself?
I think so. I think so. That's why many. You see the young boys, wicked. They're sitting somewhere drinking,
spending money.
Yes, because if you understand money, then you see that your wealth should be in charge. So long as you are pushing, the wealth of the country should be 90% in the hands of the young, in the hands of the Ghanaians. And so, if the government understands money, you are not trying to get a lot of investors to come and own everything, and your people are just looking for a job. No. We must think. We must say that the investment, the dominant investment. That's why I'm very happy to see any Ghanaian in any level, any young man trying to take any space in our economy, and we should not fight them. If anything, we should support them because they are going through a lot. You know, so we should. If you understand money, we promote your people to be wealthy. You don't fight the few ones that are trying to, take over a lot of things, and that's where we have to push our people, especially those who have gone to school. Enough of the jobs and the certificate. Go and start something. Go and start something, because if you are training, a time will come that we have a lot of Ghanaians successful everywhere. Then we can push the others who are trying to take over our economy. But if the country is doing well, and the wealth is not in our hands, we are slaves. We are servants on our own land. The wealth must be in our hands. And how do you create wealth? In business, investment. And that's where we have to push our people. You say he's looking for capital. Which capital? Go and start something. Push. You are holding a phone which is 10,000 cedis, and you're saying that you're looking for capital. Send the phone.
It's easier for them to raise funds to buy an iPhone than to raise funds to start their own business.
Yes, because they are not. The financial education is low. So they really don't think that we need to create wealth. We need to create wealth, whichever level. And we need to push our people to see business and investment. Africa we should not be the ones telling to go and look for a job. Because already, when you have to lift a lot of our people. Why do you think there's unemployment? There's unemployment because there are not enough jobs, isn't it?
Yeah.
So we must tell our people, listen, we are not going to have a lot of people opening businesses, employing thousands. So the unemployment will go on for a very long time. No government can solve it. They are lying.
Yeah. Really?
Yes. How many people? The one that they are in charge, how many have they employed? But they can bring this awareness that starts something, and they should leave the people to build. If you are not giving them money, allow them to build.
I see that they scrutinize them a lot with GRA and whatnot.
It's unnecessary. That is part of the unemployment, because people are afraid to expand. Because the moment you show your face, they are looking for you. It is wrong. We need to reset a lot of things to encourage our people to be very bold and loud to build.
I'm afraid that Ghana will soon be for foreigners, because everybody else sees the advantages and opportunities here except ourselves.
That's right. And that's why you and I, we have to make sure that we change that. Because somebody did that job, and we can also do a different job. And it's a matter of us coming in contact with the right information. We may think that they are not listening. They are. They are. The work that we do, even our books. If I tell you how many boys are just buying these books and reading, somebody will tell you that I can't read a lot, but I want to buy. Our seminars, they come there every time. They come. They're always full. They follow us. They look for information, because our people are looking for what works. And I think that much of the information that they have thrown at us really don't make sense. And that's why we are struggling. Because if the people know what works,
and it's all by design.
Yes, it's all by design. That's why he completed university. He doesn't know what to do. If you really went for knowledge, why would you know what to do?
That's a very good question.
Yes, if you really went for knowledge, then you will not wait for somebody to help you. Once you are waiting for help, you don't know. If you know, you get up and do something. It means that when you finish that college, put that thing down and go and learn something different.
I saw on Twitter that someone's school certificate was used to self-claim with it.
Because he doesn't need it anymore. So our people have so much confidence in book and certificate. I don't. I think I believe in what you can do with what you know. And we have to tell our people you can start anywhere.
Give us an actionable plan for people watching. They have $10,000.
Yes.
What business do they go into? How do they start?
Do you really need 10,000 to start anything?
Let's say they have it. For mostly the diasporans, they might be privileged enough to raise funds like $10,000. Now, I have in my comments, people are saying, I have $15,000. What can I do in Ghana? If this is for the diasporans, we'll go to the Ghanaians very soon.
If you have $15,000 and you don't know what to do, it's amazing.
I mean, they don't know the terrain.
The 15,000. It's not really about me having money, because I've seen people with millions who have come to fail. it's not your 10,000. You fail easily. I think it's knowing what to do. So look for. We talk about it. Look for very basic areas. You know, there's a woman around the area who's Choba.
Yeah.
And there are cars parked there every time. Well, do you think that the parents will come and open Choba? No, they want restaurant.
Yeah.
They want something that looks like from
standard.
where they come from. That's it. So don't come with those thinking. I really don't think you should come with a lot of those things, because you spend a lot of money, waste a lot of money. If I want to start a business now and I don't have any money, even if it's in front of my house that I have to put water there and start to sell, I will do that.
Water.
Where's water?
Pure water.
If people buy 1, 2, 3, 4, you start to see, because you get feedback from them. It's water that you put there, but tomorrow they're asking for, please, do you have this? Do you have this? Before you see it, they are telling you what to do. So many times, if you don't know what to do at all, just start with anything and be ready to learn along the way anyway. People are saying feasibility studies and all that. Maybe if you book long people, and that will make sure that you never start. Yes. So
they'll be like, have enough data about the business before going to it.
They'll be doing that for 2 years, 3 years. You know, but I think that if an idea comes to you, just start it and be willing to fail. Don't be afraid to fall and even hit pain, but you're building your strength. If you don't know what to do, if you're down, then what do? You start
back up.
That's right. So I think that it's not so special which industry, but look at the community where you are and just do something just everybody else is trying to do. Let's say if it's a provision shop, when I come here, I just drop somewhere and bought some water.
Yeah. Provision.
It's a provision shop. Do you need a lot of whatever data to start a provision shop? Just start something. It will start from something, and out of it, a lot will evolve. If you are learning and you're ambitious. If you're learning and ambitious, that's what business. That business is just about starting something and getting, because you're going to learn how to work with these people, how to deal with state agencies, how to handle your money, where to source your product. All those skills at a small business level or a big business level is the same skill set that you need. The difference is in the systems that you build.
Interesting.
So it's not, you don't have to be special. Anything that you see around you, even if it's Brony Wawu, the hand clothes that you want to sell. So my friend Jab, he says Brony Wawu. The other day he called me, said that listen, I want to buy a house, just go and help me to decide. You know the price of the house? $250,000. And what does he do? Says second-hand clothes. So it's not special idea, it's the need. So look at the need that is around you and do something.
I like that. You wrote a book, Perspective, How to Develop the Mindset to Start and Build Your Business. Speak to me about this book.
That's my first book I wrote 2016.
2016.
And it's a book that I wrote after I had gone through so many challenges trying to, put the degree somewhere and build something. So it talks about my background as somebody, from, my grandparents, my parents, and then going to school to read engineering and saying that I want to build a business. All the things that I didn't know, all the things that I knew, and the difficulties and the realities, the shift of mind, who you really have to become for the business to work. Because until you become it, the business will never work. So the psyche, the boxer who wins does not think like the guy on the street. So you must become it in your mind before. You must think in a particular way. The mindset is what is responsible for the success. So all that you go through, you are evolving to get to a state where your mindset is at that state where it can win. Then you can win. Until you get there, you can win. The military officer or the soldier you are taking to the war will only win because he thinks as somebody who's going to win. You see the lion doesn't think like losing. He goes to, he goes after it because he knows that this is what I'm made to. But you are very weak and you say you want to win in a business. It doesn't work like that. So you must become it, and that's the mindset that you.
I like that. We're almost at the end of the conversation. I've learned so much, and I'm sure the audience have learned a lot too. Your last book, Ultimate Opportunity.
Yes.
And the entrepreneur's booklet.
Yes. Yes. It's for the entrepreneur. How to encourage yourself and to be honest, to be straightforward. As a matter of fact, if you're not honest, don't go into business.
Really?
Especially if you're.
A lot of Ghanaians are dishonest in their business. Not a lot. Based on some experience, is that hurting our businesses, being dishonest?
If you are dishonest, nobody comes to you again. And nobody wants to be cheated anyway. So you are far more, you have an advantage if you're straightforward and honest. Just tell them, I can't do it, I can do it. This is 2,000, this is 3,000. You must get what you paid for. And those people with that are always the ones who are winning in business. The other ones, they are always the ones struggling. Until they have a conduit that continues to see for them. So long as where they are stealing from is still in existence, you may think that they are doing well until that one is cut. And many times when they fall, they can't lift themselves up again. But the ones with character, because the foundation of whatever you are building is your character. And if your character is straightforward, no matter what happens, you will stay. So I believe in you being straightforward, fighting. If you get it wrong, accept it and say that I was wrong, I can't meet it. But you just have to be. Your word should be your bond, and your honesty is really an advantage. It's your best advantage
because of referrals. People
yes. So you just have to be straightforward. If you deal with me, if I can't do it, I can't do it. I don't need that kind of money that I've stolen. Your money, I don't need to steal your money to have money. I can have something small. So that's my philosophy, and I think that if you work with it, here living will be very much easy for you because you're straightforward and people can count on you. There are so many people who would want to give us money to work with that we say no.
I see.
Because so your character will always attract. So people are looking for capital. It's not capital you need. Can you be trusted? You need use somebody that people can trust, because if they can trust you, then they can bring everybody. People have resources. So somebody just called me the other day. He said that, listen, boss, you said that character is everything in your business, and I'm using that. This supplier, she gives me product. It's not even due the time, and I'll go to pay her back. So every time she's giving me product. And many people can use suppliers' credit if you are honest. Yes, so you must have character. You must be truthful. As a matter of fact, your honesty is capital. So
your honesty is capital.
Yes, your honesty is capital. People can give you product just because they can trust you that your check will clear. Or if their product is with you, you will bring them their money. You must have that. If you don't have that and you are down, you can't lift yourself. Don't look at the other ones and say, oh, I know some people who are not honest. Forget about them. Look at yourself. You have nobody to help you. That's why you're struggling anyway. So the only thing you have to work with is to be truthful. So when you do something for somebody, make sure that don't just go and change the invoice. Just make sure everything is, and it's something that you have to be conscious and you have to develop it. People will send you morning devotions and still change invoices. I think don't send any morning devotion to anybody if you're doing that, because the God in you should be truthful.
Hypocrisy.
That's right. So character is everything, and it helps you. We have people who give us product and go to sleep because they know that we will send them their money. That's it. And you need that.
Now, these are several books that he has written, and it's all available on online, right? Links in the description. And I say, there's no way you finish reading all this book and your life will be the same. Something will change, and I'm going to read everything. I'm going to read everything. I've been bench watching every video you've ever done. And I don't have any objection. Every single sentence you said, everything that you said, I agree with you.
Wow.
Yeah. And it's very unlikely.
Thank you.
It's very unlikely. So I really hope that, the viewers would find out how to, get a book and then follow. Right. And also to the diasporan, if you have actionable advices for diasporan who are still interested in coming back home, establishing business here, and really leaving the West behind, what would the actionable advices be?
I say that Africa is our duty. It's our responsibility. We are the ones to make sure that our people take charge of our continent. So see it as, before you leave this earth, this African story will be different. It will be a people of dignity, of hope, of excellence. And so come and do your part. Don't just come for your comfort and your pleasure. No. Come to be productive. We don't just need music and dancing. We need our people to farm. We need our people to create businesses, industries. And when you come, give yourself time. At least 10 years before it starts to make sense. Because really that's what you need. There's a certain amount of time that you must put in anything before it starts to work.
Yeah, but we come 2 years and we go back.
No. You are not qualified. As a matter of fact, any expertise that you see people develop, it takes them more than 10 years. So even in order for you to build a knowledge base, It's not just 1 year. A lot of the things that we know it's not taking us 2 years or 3 months. It's taking us a lot of time to edit, to go through, to re-engineer, so that you think at a certain level, and building anything takes time. So Ghana is not different. It's a different, Africa is a different system, it's a different culture. You must understand the culture. And always remember that the money is in the culture. The money is in the culture. So don't just come to say that I want to superimpose my culture on us. Come and learn the culture. And you see that it's a beautiful culture. Many of our people are honest. Many times it's those in the cities.
That's very true.
Yeah, go to a lot of our villages and see. They are lovely. They welcome you. They fetch water for you. They say, sleep. Have you eaten? And they have never known you. Let's look at the beauty side of us. The beautiful side of our continent, of our people. Let's be optimistic, because until you're optimistic and positive, creativity will elude you. You must see the possibility in it. Then you can find the solutions. But if you give up already, then that's it. Don't give up on us like that. There's always a way out. And there are so many things that we are doing well. Focus on that. You shouldn't let the politics and the political leadership be the story of Africa. And even that, they are doing well. We try to castigate them and say as if they are, no, it's a mechanism that they are using.
Because they are fighting against the...
That's it. It's a structure that they are running. You don't have money, but they say every 4 years organize elections. Meanwhile, you need money for your children to go to school. Why? If you don't do that, then Ghana is not democratic, isn't it? So they are forced to use a system.
And they use a lot of millions
to do that.
That could go.
Yeah, that is keeping us poor. That's it. So it's a structure that maybe they can't do much about it, but understand us that we are doing something that is so.
You think democracy is hurting Africans?
Obviously, it's a control mechanism. Everybody must govern with their understanding and their culture. Why do you use the European way of governing themselves? Why must we? China is using a different system and it's working. Why should they change it? They shouldn't. But the Arabs are trying to use something different. Why do we have to practice like Europeans?
We have the monarchy system.
Yes. So at least blend it, modernize it a bit, but it shouldn't be European. You are in parliament, speaking English, we sit and tie. Where is the solution? So I'm more interested in the dignity of our people. Our people living long and having prosperity, peace, accepting who they are, living with hope. We go around the world, we should be able to chest out and say that I'm a proud African. That kind of Africa is what I'm looking for. And I see that in the next 50 years or so. I can see that our people are waking up to say that, let's say, enough of this. So that's why you can see a lot of Africans who are lived somewhere, they say want to come. Now they have to learn how to come. That's the only bit of it. And
how to come and be successful.
And be successful. You have to learn that. And when you come, you have a lot of patience. You must have that.
Patience.
Yes, patience. Be patient. You have hope, but be patient. And keep working. And it works if you don't give up. That one I can bet my last peso on it. It works. If you don't quit and if you don't leave and you continue to learn, you're open-minded to educating yourself, you're learning, you're asking questions, it works.
If you have one thing to change about Ghana or Africa in general, what would that be?
Our sense of history. Our sense of history. We must learn our history. We must go and look for knowledge. History books that are written by Africans. You cannot replace your identity with religion. It's different. Who are you? I'm a Christian. That's not identity. I'm a Muslim.
You see how defensive some Christians are when you try to correct them on their way of thinking.
Yes,
Why?
Because it's a belief. They work with belief, not thinking.
And believe is because you don't know.
That's it. You must believe in something different. And so when you question them, the mind seizes. And as a matter of fact, religion is designed mainly to take the minds of the people. I mean, institutionalized faith is designed like that. So only believe, don't question anything. And that's why, so we only believe that God exists. If you want to think about it, then they say that you are trespassing.
Yeah.
But really, God gives us a mind to think. So we must think. And you must ask questions. Or we cease to be humans. If you cannot think and you can't ask questions, you are not a human being. You become a robot. Because really whatever is happening in your life is because of the way you think. On this earth, thinking, your mind, your thoughts are responsible for everything. But that people are trying to say that it's a spirit somewhere which is supposed to be in charge of everything. That's a lie. Everywhere you go, the people express their thinking. So this setup express your thinking. Whatever the way you do your things is because of the way you think. So if your thinking is right, then your life will be right. If your thinking is wrong, you have complications, you know. So you help the people think rightly. And I'm saying that it is history because then you start to see yourself differently and as somebody who is able. And once you see that, that's it. You change it.
Will you say Africa is poor because we are malnourished when it comes to intelligence or knowledge?
Yes, I think Africa is rich. Africa just needs knowledge, needs to believe that the knowledge that they have is enough to lift them. And they must take what they have and build it. The mango seed must germinate with the mango seed. Grows with it. Every strength is in that seed. You know? You as a seed in your mother's womb, and there's no other thing that has been added to you. You are just growing. Because they feed you. The same. We must grow what we have and feed it. But we are trying to say it's not good. So let's go and bring some other ones and grow it. And that's why we're struggling.
I like that. If you have a final message to the people watching, what would that message be?
Just be a proud African. Educate yourself financially. Own something. Build a business. Speak well of Africa, wherever you are. If you have never come here, visit. Teach your children our languages. And speak well of us. If we start to speak well of ourselves, speak well of our leaders, even though if you don't agree with them. And look at the good things that you're doing. The bad things, we can correct them. But we build with our strength, not our weakness. You know, so I would say that if you're diasporan, come. And when you come, don't try to live in East Legon and all those areas. Come to La Paz, Achimota, Kumasi, Bantama. So live in the culture because that's where the majority of the people are. And wherever the majority of the people are, that's where the money is. You know, and that's where you can succeed because you target the bigger market. And once you understand that section of the market, anything that you try, you win. But if you focus on just the letter, you are coming to Ghana, you want to open a restaurant, pancake. How many people in Ghana will eat pancakes? That's why we know beat you because they're selling watching 10 a.m. it's finished. You eat your pancake the whole day, nobody's buying it. Because you are bringing something that many of us cannot relate to it, you know. Yes.
I like that. How do people find you?
My YouTube channel is Obeng Darko. Facebook is Obeng Darko. Website Obeng Darko as well. TikTok Obeng Darko. Books, Amazon Kindle. You search Kwabena Obeng Darko, you see me there. My number, if you want, I can put my number there. You can send me WhatsApp message and we will respond. 02466318874. 02466318874. We organize finance seminars, business seminars as well. As a matter of fact, on 23rd, we're organizing one in Kumasi, KNUST Engineering Department, and we want a lot of our young men to come. We are on the quest to say that our young men can live here and be successful. If they want to travel, they don't have to travel out of desperation, and they are not advantaged because they travel. They are advantaged because they develop themselves. You know, and that one is open to everybody.
Thank you so much for
Thank you, brother.
Listen, guys, I'm speechless. This conversation has opened my mind and my eyes to a lot of things, and I hope it did the same thing for you. I'm going to leave every details in the description and also on the screen. Go look for him, find him, reach out to him. Consultation. Do you do consultation?
Yeah, people can drop.
Yeah. Look, reach out, for consultation or whatnot. I think that will help you. And if you like the channel, like, share, and subscribe. Stay tuned for more amazing content like this coming your way. So without further ado, let's say bye-bye to the people watching. All right.
Bye.
Peace.
Everybody,
you know the surprising thing. I found most Ghanaians who lived here and not travel out more wealthier than that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, because if you stay in the system, how you learn? You learn.
And we never thought that they are the wealthier ones because they didn't even look like it.
That's right.
Right? They dressed with a Lacoste shorts, and then you think they don't have.
They have foliage. Very true. Very true. But they are the ones that we look up to. These are not the wisest anyway.
I like that.
Everything is not. They don't do everything. And we have to know that. Then we can build. Because if you don't have confidence in who you are, then you forever be a slave.
I mean, look at in school that we were taught that the Europeans are the one who taught us to mine gold and whatnot.
You see,
that we didn't know what gold was.
Is it true? Let's go to history and see. The chiefs, why were they worried? Look at Ghana Empire, ran for at least 1,000 years. You think they were stupid to run about 50 million, 70 million people over 1,000 years with hospitals, schools, food, everything, and they didn't know anything? That's a lie somebody told.
It's a lie.